I've been using SmallRig products ever since I started filmmaking, and every rig that I've built and all the rig videos up on this YouTube channel have at least some kind of SmallRig product in them. So I was obviously pretty excited when they announced that they are selling lights now. And in this video, I'm going to review the SmallRig RC120B, which is a bicolor 120 watt light, as well as some softboxes. My name is Damien Cooper, and welcome to Monkey Pixel. So what is the light that I'm talking about today? The SmallRig RC120B is an LED point source light that is also bicolor, meaning you can change the color temperature, which is pretty cool because it's rather rare in all of these kind of products, and usually they're way more expensive because this light comes in at $260, and that is a lot cheaper than most of the competition. And not only can you change the color temperature on that light, but you can change it from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 6500 Kelvin. And a lot of the other bicolor lights that I have only go from 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. So this is much appreciated. First of all, let's look at the design of the light. Unlike all of the other lights that I know, the apertures, the Godox, this one has a different kind of finish. It's light gray with an accent of a little bit of bronze or maybe even a rose gold to it. So it does look a bit different, but I do like the overall look of it. Overall, the light isn't heavy at all. It's rather light, and that makes it a great choice for if you have to rig it up and if you have to boom it above your subject, for example. The light does have a fan and you can turn that off, but you can't really hear it. I'm using this light now and I've used it for the last couple of YouTube videos that I uploaded, and I have a shotgun microphone right in front of me and the microphone does not pick up the fan, so there's nothing to worry about in my opinion. The light has a Bowens mount, and a Bowens mount is a pretty standard mount for mounting softboxes, so this comes also really appreciated because if you already have some Lightformers like softboxes, lanterns or other kind of Lightformers, you can use them with the SmallRig light as well. So I wouldn't really get a LED light without a Bowens mount anymore. The control unit to control the light is built into the head of the light, unlike its competitors where you usually have a control unit that is dangling off the light. And I have mixed feelings about this because obviously it's a lot easier if you have the light mounted high up or if you boomed it above your subject to control the color temperature and the intensity of the light if you have a control unit that is accessible to you. Because once that light is high up, you can't change anything anymore unless you use the app, and I will talk about this a little later. But since the app is actually pretty cool, that's not a big deal, so I don't really mind that at all. Because overall, that design choice makes the light a lot more compact. On the back of the light, you only have two knobs, and both of them control basically everything. The first controls the intensity of the light and the color temperature, and you can press it once to change between the two, and it's also really smooth, and you have really small increments to make fine adjustments to the light intensity as well as the color temperature. The second knob controls the frequency, and I'll be quite honest with you, I don't 100% know what this is for, but the second one controls the effect modes, and it does have several kind of effects, and I will talk about those in a second too. The light is mostly made out of plastic, but it does feel sturdy. It does feel a little bit cheaper in build quality than some of the competitors, but overall that is how they achieve the lightweight. And again, I can't really see that this is an issue, and I do like that they have a big lever to tighten it down to your light stand, because some of the other lights that I have only have a small knob and it's really hard to get it in place, especially when using bigger softboxes that weigh a little bit more, so I do appreciate the lever. Other than the two knobs to control the light, you have a reset button to reset the light if you want to get rid of all the settings that you've chosen. You have an illuminated screen that is really nice and easy to see, and of course you have a toggle switch to toggle the light on and off. To power the light, you have two options. One is the continuous power source, you just plug it into the wall and then it works. And the other one, and I think that is sold separately, but I would highly recommend it if you want to use it mobile, is the battery plate. And you do have a V-mount battery plate that you can attach to your light stand. And I really like that because it makes the whole thing really compact. And when you have a control unit dangling off your light and you have to attach the V-mount battery to it, then it oftentimes is getting a little bit heavy and it's just dangling around. So having this tightly attached to your light stand is a solution that I really like. Lastly, the light comes with a stock reflector and a really cool carrying bag, and that bag is pretty much the same as all the other lights out there from Aputure and Godox, but it does have a high build quality and I have nothing to complain about. Next up, let's talk about the app that you can use to control your light. This light doesn't come with a physical remote like some of my other lights, and I do have mixed feelings about this because I've had lights in the past that you can only control with an app, and a lot of the times these apps were really fiddly and they're just generic apps that you can control different kind of things with, and I really wasn't satisfied with those. The SmallRig is different though. The app is called the SmallRig GoGo and it is tailored to that light, and it's really simple to use and the UI looks great as well. On the main screen you can just quickly change the color temperature as well as the intensity of the light, and what's pretty cool, you can also set presets. So if you want to have a preset for 80% at 5600 Kelvin and one at 3200 Kelvin and 45%, you can easily just save some presets and then toggle between them. Within the app you can also switch to the effects mode, and here you have 9 different effects. And I also like that you have a lot of customization options. We were shooting some commercials and we wanted to use one of the presets on one of our other lights, and unfortunately when you switch to the TV setting, for example, you couldn't really change the intensity of the light and it was way too bright and we couldn't dim it down. Unlike with the SmallRig. Here you have full customization over everything. You can change the color temperature, the intensity, and you also have different kind of speeds for the different effects. We briefly tested some of the effects and so far they actually look somewhat organic and I could actually see me using them, unlike some of the other lights that were pretty much unusable. But here I think if you need some kind of effects, especially paired with the bicolor option of the light, then this is a pretty cool choice to have. So far I found this app really easy to use, responsive and also reliable. So this is something that I really like and actually prefer over a physical remote at this point. Now let's discuss the power output, because that was one thing that I was worried about when I was looking at the light the first time, because it's only 120 watts compared to 150 watts, and a lot of other lights that are only daylight balanced are usually stronger in output than lights that are bicolor. So I went ahead and I put it side by side to my Godox VL150, and I used the same softbox, a 90cm parabolic softbox with a grid, and that is the one that I'm using right now, and I put it at the same distance. I put the SmallRig light to 100% exposed for my skin, and then I switched it out to the Godox VL150 and also put it to 100% to see the difference in output. And obviously this is not a scientific test, but I don't have any light meters here. I don't have anything to measure the actual output of the light, so this kind of real world scenario has to do. And you can clearly see that the Godox light has a bit more power because everything is a bit more illuminated, but it's not that much because my skin in both situations is still somewhat correctly exposed, and it's not like my skin is completely blown out on the Godox. You can only see it in the background as well as on the couch a little bit. Obviously my skin is a little overexposed, but you can't really see and tell that this is night and day, and the Godox has a lot more power than the SmallRig does. So considering that the Godox is $400 and is only daylight balanced, I don't even think that's a discussion here. I would take the SmallRig hands down, and I will replace my Godox VL150 here in the studio with the SmallRig RC120B from now on, because it's just a better buy. It's cheaper, it has more effects, and it is bicolor. So the little bit of difference in output for me really doesn't matter, because right now I'm sitting here and I'm even on 2 stops of ND and the light is at 50%. So once you need to battle the sun, no 150 watt light will make a difference. So the little bit of difference in output on the Godox won't really matter anyway, and you need a much stronger light source either way. SmallRig also offers 3 options for softboxes, 2 parabolic softboxes, one with a 55 and one with an 85 diameter. It also comes with a lantern, and that is pretty cool because I always wanted to have a lantern and I for some reason never had. So it's a china bowl kind of thing which is there to illuminate the entire room a little bit more omnidirectional opposed to a softbox. Unfortunately they didn't have the bigger softbox, the 85 one in stock, so I only got the lantern as well as the 55, and I haven't used them yet. So let's do a little bit of unboxing because they come in these pretty cool pouches, not gonna lie. I really do like them and they look pretty high quality. Again, haven't stress tested them yet, but I will, and then I will let you know on my Instagram stories. So you can check out my Instagram right here.
And now let's start with the 55 centimeter parabolic softbox. It also comes with diffusion and a grid. Okay, we have these little knobs right here, so I assume you just clip them in here and then they automatically lock in place. Alright, that was fairly easy. Honestly, 55 centimeters is not that much. I wouldn't use this for a key light if I'm doing a talking head interview or something like this, but it's really nice to have as a hair light or maybe even for product shots because it's nice and small, so you could just angle it and boom it above a subject, or you can boom it behind a person. And that overall is a pretty nice and light and simple setup for doing this. You could also use this as a mobile light maybe, so if you want to track somebody and you want to walk, then this is also a nice size for a softbox. Again, wouldn't use it as a major key light for an interview, but for a key light or something smaller and mobile, that could work fairly well. Now to the lantern or china bowl. This is something that you typically don't use that often, but when you want to use it, this comes in really handy. So if you want to have a dinner scene with two people and you want them both evenly lit, if you want to recreate a lighting fixture that is coming from above, but you don't want it to be too harsh and too directed, then you can use this. So overall, this one gives a way brighter light. So if I want to illuminate an entire room or a section of a room, then this is a lot more efficient than a regular parabolic softbox, for example. And now we are going to build this one up. Just film down the barrel here. Can you see anything? So you see that there is a beam and there's hooks on the bottom. So what we do is we press it down and then we're trying to get the beam into the hook. Should be fairly easy. And for doing this, I think we just need to press it down. Yes. There you go, that was easy. And then we close the Velcro again. And here we go. Here we have our lantern. It's a little on the small side, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because if you want to get it above a dining table and in situations where you would have a regular lamp, because this is basically what this is supposed to emulate, then we can't have a too big of a fixture, because then, well, you'll see it in the shot and a lot of the times we don't have that much space anyway. This is pretty cool, because what this does is the ability of flagging off the light. So, for example, you have two people sitting at a dining table and we don't want to have the entire background illuminated and just the people sitting in front of us. You would place the light a little bit behind them, and then in order for this portion of the china bowl not to illuminate the background, we can skirt it off with this. And here is Velcro. There's Velcro on the outside. You can see this. There's a lot of Velcro fixtures here. And with those, we can chip, 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 chip. Velcro this off. And I do believe that we can then, if we only want to have it 180 degrees, for example, there is Velcro on the inside here as well. So we could just Velcro this against the outside. Not 100% sure if this is the best way to do it, but then we would have only 180 degrees instead of 360 degrees. So we would be able to flag off one side of the china bowl. And this is really practical and offers a lot of different kind of cool lighting situations. And I can't wait to use this one.
If you want to see these Lightformers in action, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because I will be doing more lighting breakdowns, and I will especially do a video about using a china bowl kind of setup in the future, so make sure to subscribe. But overall, I really do like the build quality of those, although again, I haven't really used them yet. So there you have it. What's my overall verdict of the SmallRig RC120B? I really do like it, and I don't think there's any competition out there, especially for the price. For $260 you get a bicolor light ranging from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin with decent effects and a bonus mount. So here I really don't think that you can get anything better for the price. And I for one am excited for what they will bring out in the future. So if you want to check out that light for yourself, then there's a link down in the description below. And if you like this video, then please give this video a thumbs up because it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more, and I hope to see you on the next one.